And that takes like 2 or 3 minutes. And it takes like 2 minutes. Marcel, I don't know if anyone knows me or have heard of me or whatever, but I am an educator, platform artist, and I do a lot of fashion and a lot of videos. And I work in a salon, and I teach. Some of my inspirations and where I get my ideas, because what I do is when I do shows, I create a collection. That means I create the hair, the makeup, and the clothing, and I choreograph. So basically, I produce my own shows. But the one thing that will not change is that hair is hair, and it'll always be hair. So you have to color it, you got to cut it, and you have to style it. So if you can do those 3 things and master them, then you really have an edge, and you really have a good future ahead of you. So I would continue, to pursue what's going on in fashion. Fashion shows are really a good place to get your inspiration. Again, there, as I said, going through magazines is really a wonderful inspiration, and it shows you what designers are looking for. Bridal work is a really big thing, and you can make a lot of money if you know what you're doing, if you know what you're talking about, and if you know technique, product, and when in white, and how to do it. This is basic 101 upstyling technique. Number 1, okay, product. Always use aerosol. Don't use a pump spray. Why?
It's sticky. It'll get wet.
Thank you. Thank you. Very good. When you use the spray, the pump spray, what happens, it's wet and it'll flatten the hair, and you won't have any style left. So if you use an aerosol spray, it will dry automatically once it gets onto the hair, plus it'll add texture. But a Denman brush is a rubber tip brush. There's a 9-row and there's a 7-row brush. And usually you will use the 9-row. See guys, this is what's important, is you know what your tools are. Okay, what is this called? And you all get slaps for that, because it's not a rat. Where's the rat and where's the tail on this? Okay? Long tail comb. Long tail comb. I can't believe you're on set. Yeah, I'm going to use my rat tail to tease your hair up. That model or actress is going to say, where did this guy come from? Using a rat tail, I'm going to tease my hair. I would let them touch me. It's just going to find out where her natural part is, and usually all these mannequins, you really can't tell, but it seems to me that the hair wants to go to the side here, so I'm just going to go with the flow and go to the side. Okay, so when I'm going to start, and what I'm going to start is I section using my long tail comb. I'm going to section out one section, which is going to be probably in the back of the ear. That's section number 1. Then I'm going to go over to my next section and do another section. I work in sections always. So I've got 1, 2, and I have 3 sections. So I'll take her, see if I can, yeah, good. You can see where I'm parting this. Can everyone see that? So I have 1, 2, and 3. Right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start on section number 3, because this is where we're going to do a French twist. As you done with that today? Okay, I'm going to show you my version of it. Okay? Because everyone has a different version, a different technique, and a different eye of style for a French twist. But a French twist is a classic style that'll never go out. It'll always be revamped and updated, but we'll always probably use it. Okay? Now I'm going to take my comb, and I'm just going to go back home once, twice, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I already have my foundation there. And if I put my comb in correctly, it'll hold it. That's when you know you've got good foundation. If it starts falling to the side, the back combing underneath is not, it's not really firm. Then slice over to my next section. Then slice behind that and back home. At that point in time, you're going to tilt the head forward. Don't be afraid to move the head. When you have a client or your model, move her head around. And guys, when you're working, work around the head. Do not just get, because I've seen some people where they just stay stationary and they stay in this one spot and they don't move. It's like you have to move around the head. The head is round, it's not a square. Okay, so I'm going to move to one side and back comb the side. And as you can see, I'm back combing, I'm bringing everything up. So my foundation here, and then I've got my part right in front of the ear. Then I'm going to back comb and take my next section underneath that and back comb that section. So I'm taking all my sections and I'm back combing. And I'm moving around the head, back comb. So once I have her back combed, I have section 1, section 2, section 3. I'm going to start on my section that I've just worked on. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to tilt her to the side a little bit, take my brush, and I'm going to go and comb it in one direction. I'm going to go in one direction because I'm going to be brushing her out to one side. Okay, as I brush her out to one side, I'm going to take one of my bobby pins and I'm going to, how many people use their teeth? Don't do that. See my index finger here? See this finger here? Index finger, open pin. Slide my pin at the nape, going up, take another pin. And I'm taking a larger pin, this is a roller pin, opening it up and I'm doing the same thing. Then I'm going to take another pin and I'm going to crisscross that pin. So basically when I'm pinning, guys, I'm pinning and I'm placing my pins in an X shape so that when I brush or I comb, if I put it this way, sometimes the pins will pop out. But if I crisscross them, there's more security. Okay? So I'm crisscrossing my pins. Okay, after I have that section pinned, then I'm just going to take a little bit of spray. And then I'm going to take my long tail comb. Now, there are two ways you can do this. And as I said, everyone has a different technique of how to do this. But I found this to work really easily for students, people that never done this, to try this. I take the tail of my comb, okay, and what I'm going to do, since I pinned and brushed everything this direction, I'm going to bring this and bring it the opposite way. Because I'm going to make that like a cone. You know what a cone is? Mm-hmm. And that's going to be from the bottom all the way to the top. That's going to be my twist, my French twist. So, I'm going to take my comb. As I take my comb, I'm going to use the tail of my comb and I'm going to tuck it, tuck it, tuck it, tuck it. I'm just going in there and tucking it, and then I'm going to take a pin and I'm going to secure. And I'll take my hand off so you can see this. But what I did is I just took my tail and I just got it here and I just tucked it in, tucked it in. When I do stuff like this, they have a screen, and that way they can see better. Because I know right now they're like, I can't see.
Put it up on the channel.
Can everyone see that? And tuck it in. So you take it and tuck it in. Take this section and tuck it in. Take this, so you can see what's going in right here. I'm taking that and it's tucking it in. So the only way, guys, that you're going to be able to do this is to practice. It doesn't happen overnight. Okay, but see how I'm just using my tail and I was just tucking this in? And how much easier it is for me to get my shape in here. And you can see it's one straight line going up. Can everyone see that? If you need, come up closer. This is going to be my highest point, right? Because when I pick this back, then I'm just going to take it back and smooth that out and blend it into my back section. So once I have that secured, then I'm just going to take my top section and I'm just going to go over with my comb and smooth out the backcombing from the surface and smooth it out and then try to blend it into my twist. But you also have to take into consideration that I'm doing this and there's no product on the hair and I didn't prep it. This is raw. If it was prepped, it would be a lot easier for me to work with and it would be a lot smoother and a lot neater. Again, they're using my tail comb, and I'm just smoothing out, trying to get all the little straggles up into here. So now I have my straight up, good foundation. Okay? So once I've kind of got that section, and you can see my silhouette, so now I'm going to take my section on the side, which you can backcomb if you like, but I'm not. I'm just going to take it and drape it around underneath, and it's going to drape on top of my twist, and take another pin, and I'm going to pin that section, and I pinned my section there. And I'm going to take my pin and pin it. So it's going to kind of hide the top of my French twist, but it's okay because I'm going to just tuck the ends in. And you can see what's happened there on the side. And you can see how the hair is falling out onto the front. Makes it look a little bit more casual. And today, women want that. They don't want that real severe, old kind of look. And the proper tools, which is like my pins and my comb, then you can do this. And as I said, I didn't prep this. This is just all au naturel. Then you can go, this is kind of, as I said, this was very quick. And as I said, I didn't use any product on this, and I just had my comb and my brush. But you see how I got my height, I got my width, and I got my softness around the face. It's not slicked back. It's a lot softer. And a lot of clients, a lot of young girls are going to say they don't want it slicked back. They want it a little softer. So you're going to soften it up. That's why I did 1, 2, and 3. So if you work section by section, then you'll master and you'll have a floor plan or a blueprint of what you're doing. I'm going to take one of my girls out and really quickly. As you can tell, she was kind of she was a showgirl in Vegas. We did a showgirl makeup on her, so that's why she has this makeup on her. I'm finding a part, and see how the hair wants to part right there, so I'm going to go with it. Okay, so I'm going with the part. But what I'm going to do here is take one section here, add one section here, comb it into my hand, then I'm going to go to the opposite side and do the same thing here. Thank you. So, here's my 2 sections, right? Take my section, and then I'm going to make a knot. Then I'm going to pick up more sections, and then take another, and create another knot. And this is very Renaissance. All I'm doing is knotting. Then I'm sure it takes 2 minutes. Okay? This is usually brides and bridesmaids. They won't have that type of look. Taking my bobby pin, and then I'm just going to place it. I'm just going to place it crosswise. Can you see what I just did there? Crosswise, take it underneath and slide it at the base. And then take some more pins and open up my knots. And if it comes apart, it's okay because it looks a little bit more messier. And as I said, today they don't want that very severe type of look. It looks more complicated than what it is, and it takes like 2 minutes. The longer the hair, the better the hair is going to be for you to knot. I'm going to take one section, and I'm going to be taking it to like a 45. Take my next section and do the same thing. I'm going to take my two sections here. I'm going to take my first section and make a knot. Then I'm going to pick up hair on each side, incorporate those sections together. Take that two sections there. And the messier, the better. Doesn't have to be neat. You know, and then knot it. And take the next section, and then again there, knot that. I've just noticed that the messier my looks are better, that people like them better. And I'm like, well, I don't know about that. But they say, no, it's right, it's perfect. Especially when I did a photo shoot, I said, but it doesn't look right. The photographer said, it's fine. I said, but it doesn't look fine to me. He says, it's fine to me. I said, okay, you're paying me, so I don't care. It's whatever. If you like it and you're paying for it, then fine. Okay, see, this you could use for like an 1840s, 1940s, 1920s. You can do this, you know, this is considered period work. Same thing at the back of the nape, which is going to create a chignon. How many people know what a chignon is?
Bun. A fancy bun.
There you go. It's a very fancy bun, but it's always at the nape of the neck. Chignons are always at the nape of the neck. Who knows Evita Perón? She was the wife of the dictator of Argentina. She was famous for wearing chignons. She was a blonde, and she always wore this very low bun, if you will, and it was called a chignon, and it was very wide at the back, and she would always wear these hats. I mean, and truth be told, this style is a classic style. That was just 2 knots and pin. But see how fast, you know, I mean, it has a lot of movement at the bottom. How many have heard of a bamboo braid?
Is that 4?
No. It's just 3. Okay. So the bamboo braid, and the way that I really like to teach this is I always have some string or ribbon. Because once you do the string and ribbon, then you start building the continuity and the rhythm. Then you can start doing it with the hair. But basically what it is, it's 2 sections of hair. You're going to take 1 section of hair and you're going to go over, under, and around. And then you're going to pick up hair, you're going to go over, under, and around. I'll turn it around so you guys can see. Over, under, and around, over, under, and around, over, under, and around, over, under, and around. And I'm picking up hair as I go along, over, under, and around. And you're going to see, it's like a ship of a bamboo. Yeah, because you don't, when you're overthinking it, it means that you don't know what you're doing. And you're trying to create something that you don't know how to create.
So if you can keep it simple and have like 3 or 4 braids, like you have a French twist, you have a fishtail, you have a bamboo braid, you have a regular braid,
right.
chignon, and then you're pretty much set for a quick...
Right. Exactly. So, you know, it's as I said, you know, I like to really share the really easy ways to get hair up. And I'm going to show one of my techniques that I like to. Lots of girls say, I want it really high up here. So I do a 45, I can do a ballerina bun, and I do a chignon. So it's 1, 2, and 3. So what I like to do is take my first top section or a section and bring it up, you know, and you can use a comb or you can use a brush, just whatever you want to do. And then I'm just going to take this section in here, and then I'm going to create a ponytail at the top, which is going to be at 45-degree angle, and place my elastic fabric covered band on it. And here's my 45-degree angle. And then you can go and smooth out. And if you want to get this fullness without having a lot of backcombing in, this is an easy way of doing it. Then you're going to take your comb and you're going to go back home, back home, back home, back home. So you're going to back comb this so that you can build foundation, so you can get this a little wider. then just take your comb and go over the surface, as I'm doing right into here. Then you can take your end of your hair and take a bobby pin and place it across the way. I'm just taking my, and see how I'm just taking my hair and I'm just going to take it under, and then I'm just going to put it under there, then open this, and there I have my bun. Okay, that's one. I can slide down and do the same thing at a ballerina, then slide down and do the same thing at a chignon. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and it's a very easy, quick way of getting the hair up without making it complicated or without backcombing the whole head. First two sections, and I'm sectioning it off. Okay, and again there, I'm going to take this and I'm going to make this the knot. Then I'm going to pick up my next section and incorporate that together, and again there, knot. Then pick up my next section. As I said, I'm working section by section. And then I'm going to knot again, then take this, divide it into half, and take that also, and knot.
What is this called? What is that braid called?
It's not a braid, it's a knot. I kept saying a knot. It's a knot. A braid is 3 strand, this is 2 strand. So what I'm doing is knotting. That's a knot. Here's another knot. That's a knot there. Then I can take that in, and if I'd like, I can pin it. Okay, by just tucking it under, I just did this. And that takes like 2 or 3 minutes. It shouldn't take you more than, if you do this in 20 minutes, you're way too much time. You know, then you can just go, if you want, you can open these sections up. Okay, any questions on what I just went over? No questions?
General question. How would you hide pins, like bobby pins? What's your best technique?
Okay, the best, good question. Good question. Okay, the one thing about bobby pins is bobby pins are to secure the hair and to hide them, not to show them. Okay, so when you're using it, depending on what you're doing, but I like to take the pen like this and take it on an end and just place it at the end of the hair, then tuck it and roll it in under and then tuck it in. Okay, so if you take it and tuck it in, then you'll hide the end of the hair and you'll hide the pin. Again, they're taking this section here and taking a, let me use one of the yellow pens here. Taking the yellow pen and I'm placing it across, can anyone see that? So it's across. Then I'm just going to take it and tuck it underneath and then tuck it under and tuck it in there. So I've taken the hair, tucked it under there, and also I hid the pin. I'll tell you one thing that will really help you pursue more of this industry. This industry is really good. If you really passionate about it, you can go places, you can travel. I've traveled all over the world, and I've been very lucky because I've been very committed to what I do. This is something that you have to continue. You just can't take one course and stop because it changes like fashion does. Every 4 times a year, as clothes change, hair changes, makeup changes, fashion changes. So you have to be on top, and you have to always try to be an example of who you are and what you sell.